Okay, it looks like I might be live now. Yeah, I'm live, I guess. I guess I'll go ahead and start talking here. I'm still trying to get the hang of OBS. I think I say that every time I log on to this thing. Anyway, as you can see, as in the title, there have been some changes to the lesson room. I didn't realize this until I think some other people in the Engoo Facebook group was talking about this important change, which I didn't think was a big change. I didn't know there was a leeway time. I didn't. If you worked for like one of the Chinese ESL company, we didn't have leeway time. So this is something new to me. But anyway, but first you can see here there are two changes that happened, and I'm a little behind. This happened like a week ago, so I'm a little behind on this stuff. We'd like to inform you about two changes we plan on making to the lesson room starting on December 22nd. So it's already happened again last week at this time. It's shown currently. Currently, the timer in the lesson room shows how much time has passed since the beginning of the lesson, but from December 22nd onward, the opposite will be true, with the timer counting down how much time is left in the lesson, rather than showing how much time has passed since it started. And so this is something different. I noticed it started doing this and kind of freaked me out at first because, and then I finally went back to this later and saw, oh, that's what's happening. But just like if you work for the Chinese ESL companies, you know, there's a countdown to when class starts, then class starts, and then it goes back up. Here, it'll count down, and then as soon as the class begins, again, like I said in a previous video, with Engoo, you don't start the class will start by itself if you're already there. Let's see if anybody's online here. I haven't had anybody come in here yet. Nope. And so now when the class starts, it'll be 25, 50, or 75 minutes. Students can either book one class, which is 25 minutes, or they can book up to 3 back-to-back classes, and there aren't any breaks when you have those either. There's not like the Chinese company where they required a 10-minute break in the middle of the 50-minute lesson. But here, there's no break. I guess the student can take a break if they want. But before this, people were confused. I was confused at first when I had my first one, but after reading in the Facebook group what to do, then I knew what, it's very easy. You'll see your bookings like, let me actually pull up some here. You'll see where people can book back to back. Let me go my thing here. I'll show you what it looks like. Like right here, this was one student here. I'm not going to pull their name because it's a no-show and this is public. But this person booked 8 o'clock and 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And so if they would have came, then I would have been with them for 50 minutes straight without stopping. And then it'd be like 10 minutes until you get to your next one. If it is 3 in a row, then there's 75 minutes. And then you have 15 minutes to get to your next one. So there are some pluses and minuses to that, negatives and positives to when they do book back to back. Usually when they book back to back, I've always had good students. Rarely have I had, I've not had any. I've seen other people talk about it in the Facebook group, having a 50-minute lesson, free talk, or they call it free conversation in Engoo. And the student was a very lower level learner at the time. And so it was very, very tough to getting conversation to happen. The student being yes or no question. I can see where that would be a very long 50 or 75-minute class if the student just answers yes and no's and things like that. But any of the students I have like that's usually been 25 minutes. So when the counter reaches 0, on their end, I know it would pop up saying class is over, say bye to the tutor or whatever. We didn't see anything. It just kept on going up and up and up. And I think for the 25-minute class, because it did this to me too, when it reached 28 minutes, it automatically closed the class, whether you wanted to leave or not. So the class just closes and that's it. But now it starts at these. Usually it starts from 0, work its way up, and you just had to know. Just like if you work for VIP Kid or GoGo Kid or any of those. Now it starts at this and it goes backwards. It kind of threw me off at first because I look over and I saw like 20 minutes. I was like, gosh, it's only been 5 minutes. How's it already 20? And then I saw it counting the other way. And so that's when I realized something was different. And so then happened to come on here and look at the little bell, and I saw this here. And this is very helpful to me as well, because I've kept forgetting how long these should last. I know it's, 75, 50, but, and to me it feels like it lasts longer. Only confusing thing happened like with the no-show. I know at 50 minutes, the class will automatically close. 15 minutes automatically close if the student doesn't show up. And say this is a no-show. You still get paid. Yada yada yada. Here, since it's counting down for the 25-minute class, when it counts down to 10 minutes, it'll close and say this is a no-show. And it does it for all of these as well. The 1 hour class is a no-show. It will still 15 minutes, and it declared a no-show for both sections of that class. So it's not like they double it just because it's 2 spots there. In the past, we know it's not always been easy to recognize if a student has booked just 1 or more consecutive lessons with you. So this change should make clear and help you avoid accidentally ending the class. There are some people in the Facebook group talked about they didn't know it wasn't malicious or anything. They would get to the end 25 minutes and they would leave, and then I think if you're out of the room for more than 3 minutes, it'll declare it as canceled without notice. I think that's what they call it. And so the people were getting their classes canceled, and they and they didn't know what's going on. That's what that. And here is lesson join leeway. This is one that was new. I didn't realize we had leeway time. Currently, tutors can be up to 3 minutes late. Well, not anymore after this announcement. When joining a lesson room before the system cancels the lesson, however, we have realized that 3 minutes is 12% of the total lesson time that our students are expecting to get. We felt this was too much, and we have come up with a solution. And so it looks like we found a vast majority of our lessons, over 99% in fact, start either on time or within a delay of under 2 minutes. With that in mind, we have decided to reduce the maximum lateness to 2 minutes from December 22nd onward, so that provides our students with as close to the full lesson time as possible. And there are people freaking out in the Facebook group over that. I was like, these students are paying for this, and if it's just 25 minutes, being late even a little bit, that's a lot for a 25-minute class. Oh my God, what if yada yada. It was, and then you can tell it worked for a Chinese company who hadn't, because they were like, well, we didn't even know there was leeway time. You shouldn't be late anyway. If you're going to be late, then cancel the class. Apparently, there's a significant number of people who are late a lot. Well, here, it's 2 minutes. If you work for VIP Kid, you can be 1 second late, and it'll sometimes cancel and declare a no-show for the teacher no-show. We chose this time frame because it's important to us that we are also being fair to the tutors, and the vast majority of lessons already start within 2 minutes. We think that this is fair compromise. And I think it's fair. It's a lot of people in the Facebook group didn't think it was fair. Like, well, let's, why are they doing this, but they're still not taking away more of the no-show time, whatever. So that, and if you work for VIP Kid or one of the other ESL companies, there was no 15-minute no-show. It was, you set for the whole class time before it was declared a no-show, unless the parent called in and canceled the class themselves. But I think it's fair. I don't see anything wrong with that. So if you're working for Engoo, make sure you're in there by at least 2 minutes before the class declares you as a no-show, and they call it cancellation without notice. I can't remember how much the penalty is for that, but it goes toward the 4% maximum you can have per pay period. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show today. This announcement. I'm late on it. Usually, if there's an announcement important like this, I would come online. But as I've talked about earlier in an earlier video, that my December has been rather busy. Anyway, better late than never. Let's look at my schedule. I didn't open anything today, like I said I was going to. I'm just tired, and so I use another day to just rest. Now tomorrow, I'm going to. I opened up. I do 2 at a time, because I can do 3, but feels like I'm like waiting for that third one, then I can take a break. So if I do 2 at a time, then I'm fine. I do it, and then I do the next one. Take a little break for 30 minutes. Go to the bathroom, grab something to eat or whatever. Feedback doesn't take much time at all. I usually get that done within the 5 minutes. So usually, if it's a new student, I can get it done really quickly. I have templates I use for that. If it's a student I've seen a lot, that's when it's a little more challenging because I don't want to give them the same feedback over and over and over, so I have to make it unique. So usually if it's a student I've had before multiple times, then I actually put more time into giving their feedback. And so anyway, nothing's booked yet, which I'm surprised, but then I'm not surprised because it's, they're celebrating holidays as well in Japan and Korea. But I know by morning these will probably book. So I'm planning to wake up about 5:30 and then I'll be here. So anyway, thank you for coming. I haven't done a live in forever, so I've done lives with the Duolingo, just not anything related to this. So, all right, thank you and have a wonderful day. Or evening, actually. A wonderful night.